How y'all doing out there in video land? This Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. And today what we got for you? Well, we're not going to go out into the wilderness down by the river and do some chopping and cutting and wood crafting today because it's over 100 degrees. So we're going to chill out. We're going through a heat wave this weekend, people, so I decided to stay indoors with the air conditioner. Okay, you can say what you want to say. I like to be cool. I don't like to be super hot. But anyway, I decided, since we're going to be inside, one thing I'm going to do, I just wanted to do a comparison with this one, with the new Trailmaster. While it's still beautiful, hasn't been used yet, and do a comparison with some of my collector Bowies, some of my old Western style Bowies and stuff like that. We did all the modern knives. But let's compare it to some of the old ones. And this one, I just wanted to have a little update on my Recon, my Demco Recon Hawk so far. And I just want to say I'm absolutely loving it. And with just a little bit of stropping, well, maybe a little bit more than just a little bit. I stropped it really good, and I got an edge out of it. Check this out. It didn't take hardly anything at all, people. Just some stropping. Look at that. It's sharp. I knew it was sharp. It just needed to be stropped. Look at that, people. I just want to let you all know that this is sharp. The blade on this is really sharp. I know in the last video I did, it looked like it was a dull blade, but it just needed to be stropped. I don't know if it because it needed to be deburred or something like that. But now it is razor sharp, just like a blade edge, people. Like a sharp blade edge. Not a dull blade edge, but a sharp blade edge. So, if you needed to, you could use this like a knife. This will cut just like a knife. It'll probably be great for, scanning. You just have to be worried about this point. And the balance of the handles off. But if you had to, in a survival situation, I think this could be used like a knife also. So this is, a very handy tool. And I also noticed, I went and compared it to some of the other, type of hawks. I'm going to call them like, like a commando hawk, a war hawk, or something that you'd use in combat situation or something like that, in a survival situation. That could also be a weapon as well as a utility tool to help you survive in the wilderness or survive wherever you have to survive. I think this could be very good. I think I'm always going to keep one in my car now. I think I'm always going to keep one of these in my car. I'm probably going to get a couple more because I really like this. And if you go and compare it to I'm going to say it, people. I'm just going to say it. USA made tactical what do you want to call it? Tomahawks, tactical tomahawks, and hatchets and things like that. This one is a very good value. You can get these from $25 to $35. It's the Andrew Demco design Recon Hawk, done by Cold Steel. Yes, this one's made in China. It is made in China, people, but it is awesome. It is awesome, and for the price that you pay for it, I think you're getting a lot of value for your dollar. And I don't want to compare Chinese things to American things, but I went and checked some of these things out by different manufacturers that manufacture tactical products for in the U.S. market, and they're all like $400 or $500 for something that's like the same size. They look better, they look more efficient. They look like they're probably even tougher or whatever, but basically it's the same thing as this. And I thought, I want to put that out there. I think this is a great value. The Recon Hawk, the Demco Recon Hawk. Absolutely love it. Can't wait to get out there and test it out. Absolutely love it. And this, oh yeah, here we go. Well, let's go ahead and move this one off the table again. Here we go. Let's get into it. I'm absolutely loving this, people. I think this is I don't know. It might become one of my favorite Bowies. Period. I really like this one. I really, really, really like this one. I really want to get out there and test it out. I know it's going to be tough. There's no doubt in my mind it's going to be a tough blade. But you gotta get out there and try them out. So what we're going to compare it to first on my old Bowies, my collectors. Let me see. Let me see. Let's bring my pops out first. This is the one I got. No, wait a minute. No, let's not do that one first. You know what we got to do first? The very first Bowie I ever owned, right? The very first Bowie I ever owned. And what was that? It was one that my father gave to me, my pops, when I was I don't know, I was like about 11 or 12. We used to have some property next to my grandpa's ranch. And so we spent a lot of time out in the country in the wilderness and stuff. So it was pretty common for adults to give their kids, guns and knives and stuff as when they're kids. I know for modern day, this modern day world and modern day time, people freak out when they hear that, a kid got a gun when they were 5 years old or 7 years old and got their first knives and when they're in the second grade or whatever. And, because we live in a sheeple society, back in the day, that was pretty common, especially where I live in Northern California, which it used to be mostly rural area. Now it's very populated. I've watched it change my lifetime. We went from being a city that had like 200,000 people in it to having over 2 million now. And so it went from being a agricultural, rural area that was the capital of California to becoming a major metropolis. But anyway, back in the day, this is one that my pops got when he was serving in the Marines when he was stationed in San Diego. He used to always go over to Mexico and buy knives and stuff. My pops like knives too. It's not just me. I inherited this habit from my father. But this is one that he gave me. This one that he got when he was in the Marines. It's made in Mexico. It's a handmade knife. This is probably pretty close to what real Western knives probably look like, people. They're probably more like this than what you see in the movies and all that kind of stuff. This is probably a more common style of Bowie knife. My pops used to use this as a hunting knife when he first started getting into hunting. He was a city kid, grew up in the city, but when he joined the Marines, he made friends with people that liked to do things in the outdoors, and he got into hunting. This is the one that he gave me. But when he gave me, it was all cracked up and old. It was pretty much looked like this, always looked like this since I've owned it. This knife is probably, I don't know, it's probably 80, 90 years old, people. You see, from the 1940s. So that'd make it, I don't know, 55, 60, probably about 60 years old. Maybe about 60, over 60 years old. No, more than that, right? 80, over 80 years old. Over 80 years old. It's got to be at least that old. I don't know if it was already old when my pops bought it. But anyway, that's mine. And it's got loose parts. The handle's all loose. I used to throw this at trees and stuff and do all those kind of crazy things that I see a lot of people do with their Bowie knives now. I wish I wouldn't have did it back in the day, but I was a kid. I didn't know any better. I'm sure it's like a stick tang that goes through here. I'm not. It's a homemade knife. It's my pop said that they had people in Mexico and Tijuana that would make knives in front of you for you. So that's pretty awesome. Straight up blacksmith style knife. Anyway, let's go ahead and just set that one aside. Okay, my next Pops knife. I got this one to replace one that he used to always carry that was given away after he passed away to his first cousin, which is very cool. It's very cool. It's the General, Buck General. And he had one just like this with a 420, with a 420HC blade. I'm pretty sure it was a 420. 420, I can't remember. I think it's 420HC with the Boss heat treat. And it had the plastic handle. That's what he had. It was one of his favorite knives. We used to always carry when we went hunting and stuff like that. And so I got that one, not to use. It's just a reminder of my pops. And a lot of my knives are like that for me, people. They're like, I don't know, memory knives. I don't know. I know a lot of people say, well, you know, knife has to be used and all that kind of stuff. Well, sometimes people just get things because it brings back a good memory for them. And with me, you know, I grew up hunting and fishing and doing things with guns and knives and stuff my whole life. So a lot of my good memories are with guns and knives. That's just me, people. Next up, let's pick out one that I always wanted when I was a kid. And I used to always see it in like the store that we used to always go to, Bel Air and Rayleigh's, and they had like the sporting goods side. They don't have that anymore, where they would sell like, you know, guns and not. Well, I think they did sell like guns, like shotguns and 22s and things like that. Not handguns though, but they would always have big knife displays, and they had like a big Western cutlery knife display. And I always wanted one of these, a W49. So when I got a chance to get one, I bought it brand new when they were still making them, W49 USA, but this is a stainless steel one. The original ones were made with carbon steel. The ones that have the, you know, like the big story about them, about going to Vietnam, soldiers bought them in the BXs and carried them on tour in Vietnam. The soldiers that were, you know, grunts and that had to go through the jungles and stuff like that. It was a good jungle knife. And so basically, like, this was like used like a big camp knife, survival knife, fighting knife by a lot of soldiers in Vietnam. That's not the reason why I bought mine, though. I bought mine because I grew up watching cowboy westerns, like frontiersman movies and stuff, you know, like Daniel Boone and Davy Crockett and stuff like that. And this is the Hollywood Bowie. I would call this the Hollywood Bowie. This is what everybody thinks a Bowie knife is supposed to look like. And I think this is what Hollywood decided a good Bowie knife should look like. So this is pretty much how this one got famous. If you ask me, the W49, that's what this one is. Absolutely love it. And, you know, like Cold Steel makes a copy of it. I think they call it the Western Bowie or something like that. And it looks pretty much exactly like the same thing, too. So, you know, if you can't get a real W49, you know, I would say go ahead and get one of those. Next up, let's get another big old-style frontier knife. This is a USA Marbles. Marbles Outdoors Company used to be in the United States. Now they're overseas. This one looks new because I've never used it. You know, just like this one. I bought it to be a collector because I just always admired it. But this is the Trail Maker, people. This one's a Trail Master, and this one's a Trail Maker. USA Marbles. Absolutely love it. I can't remember what kind of steel it is. I want to say it's carbon steel. I can't remember. You know what? Let's look on the box. Let's look on the box. Marbles USA. All right. It says time-tested tradition. Okay, Marbles USA. Trail Maker. Stacked leather. Doesn't say. I want to say it's made in Gladstone, USA. Caution, razor sharp. Specialty outdoor product since 1892. It's Marbles, it's quality. Love it. It doesn't say, people. It's never rusted because I've never used it. It's always stayed in the box in the safe. I bought it brand new before the company went out of business. I bought it when the company, I knew the company was going out of business. Everybody was saying the company was going to go out of business. And I always admire these, so that's the reason why I got it. This is an awesome knife. Feels really good in hand. This grip, this leather grip. I've always liked the way leather grips feel in your hand. And I know a lot of people like to see the full exposed tang. But to be honest, when you do like a thick flat rat tail and then you have like the screw in top like this, see how that's made? These handles are very comfortable, people. They're very comfortable, and most of the old hunting knives back in the day were made like this. They had handles more or less like this. They didn't really have exposed blade tangs. That's more of a modern thing that people have been doing lately. I don't know if you look at old swords and old any kind of knives, there were always stick tangs or like a flat stick tang or a round stick tang or something like that. But they're very seldom full exposed tang knives like they do now. So I would consider that more of a modern thing, because I think more people back in the old days, they wanted more of a comfortable handle, probably because they use their knives a lot more than we do. And so having a knife handle that was very comfortable and easy to use and balanced, this is nickel silver here, big old chunk of nickel silver with a brass guard. Awesome knives. I want to say this is like 1095 CV. People by can't say it. But that was like the common steel that was used in these knives. And either they would use 1095 CV or they would use a steel like a stainless steel that wasn't all that great. And I want to say it was like a 440, or like a 420, a 420 HC or a 440 A or 440C, I think it was 440C. Those were like common stainless steels. This one I know is stainless steel. This one might be stainless steel because I never had any kind of spotting in it, but it's never been used either. So I always kept it clean and dry. So who knows? One of y'all can look it up. Y'all can find it out. The next one up is one that y'all just saw recently. Oh yeah, I love this one. It's 512 fold Damascus blade, made by Baron Cutlery Sons. They used to call it Bear MGC. This is a very old knife. I've had this for a very long time. I know they still make these, but I haven't seen one with the buffalo horn handles anymore. This has genuine buffalo horn handles. It's a real Damascus steel blade. It used to be advertised as having 512 folds. Now, how you get that, I don't know. I'm not a blacksmith. I don't know how you get 512 folds. That's just the way they used to advertise it, people. Now, this is one of my most prized ones right here. As y'all know, I like fighting knives. And this one's made by Bill Bagwell. This is a famous fighting knife from Bill Bagwell. It was redone by Ontario, OKC, USA. And for a limited time, you were able to get these. And that's why I got this one. I bought it brand new when they were available. Absolutely love it. Where's the box for this one? Bagwell Bowie, USA. Ontario Master Series. That is one sexy Bowie. Balance for fighting, people. Look how thick this one is. That's what made me, when I saw this one again, it made me think, I got to compare that to the new one. So we're going to compare it. It's got the coffin handle with the hidden blade tang. I absolutely love that. Brass guard. Let's check it out, people. All right, where's my thickness gauge? These are my Bowies, my classic Bowies. Here we go. 7.66. 7.66 millimeters thick. Let's go up here. 7.46 millimeters thick. Let's go right in the middle of the swedge here. 3.93 millimeters thick. 3.93 millimeters thick. Let's go to the tip. 1.43 millimeters thick. This knife is designed to be a fighter, people. Bill Bagwell designed fighting Bowies. Not utility knives, but fighting Bowies. This is meant to be a fighter. Now, of all these on the table, this one is the one that's meant to be that was designed to be just a fighter, not a hunting knife, not a camp knife, not a utility knife. This one was designed to be a fighting knife. Bagwell Bowie. The real ones had carbon steel blades. This one has a stainless steel blade. What I mean by the real ones, the ones that were handmade by Bill Bagwell, not factory made by OKC. But the OKC ones, for me, as a collector, and I don't want to worry about rusting and stuff like that. They're very desirable. They're extremely desirable because it's going to look like this forever if you take, very, light care of it. It'll always look like this. These are beautiful knives. They don't make them anymore. They've been out of production for a very long time now. But, people who bought them to collect so you can get them in this kind of condition. People didn't really buy these to beat up and use and to use for chopping tests and batoning and stuff like that. These were meant to be fighters. And this has got a sharpened swedge, people. That's sharp. It's meant for the backs. It's meant for Bowie fight. You fight backwards. Well, actually fight with the blade sort of like backwards. Awesome. Beautiful knife. So that one's 4.76? What was it? I forgot already. Getting sidetracked. Talking about some of my favorite knives. And this is this is all I got in my collection of them. I don't have a giant collection of Bowies because I don't carry these. 7.56. That's what I got right there. 7.56 at the blade tang. At the guard. This one is 7.73. So this one's still the king. 7.73, people. Let's do it again. I thought the Bagwell might get it. All right, there's a little bit thicker. Right here. 7.73. 7.73 right there. That's the thick spot. Do the same spot. 7.76 or 7.75. So, hey, the Trailmaster is the king, people. Trailmaster is the undisputed new king of my Bowie collection for the thickest Bowie in my collection. And you know what? It's the only one that's not made in the Americas. Mexico's America, people. So this is made in America. Made in Mexico is made in America. We all live on the same continent, North American continent. We're all Americans. United States, US, Taiwan, and US. I love this one, people. And you know what? Out of all of these, the one I would pick for my survival needs, for a survival knife, would be this one. This would be numero uno. I think this would be my second choice. This has been, proven to be a great survival knife, during the Vietnam War. So, I know this is an awesome knife. Super awesome knife. But I think this one might be better, though, because it has a better steel. 52-100 is going to be tougher than the stainless steel I think that they use for these. It's going to hold a better edge. Sure, it won't be rust resistant, but it's going to be hella tough. And if not, and carbon steel, as long as you keep it clean and dry, it's okay. It's when you let moisture just sit on it and you don't clean it up or dry it off after you get done using it. You let blood or moisture or water just sit on it. That's when the blade gets messed up. So as soon as you get done using it, clean it, wash it, and dry it, and let it fully dry out, and then oil it. It'll stay looking nice forever. Might get a little patina to it, but it won't be anything that damages the blade. I really love the Trailmaster. I think this is an awesome blade, people. I think it's an awesome knife for a survival knife. I think it's awesome knife for a fighter. I think this could be, because I'm comparing it to this one. This one feels better in hand. This one feels more balanced. And the way the handle shape, it feels like my hand is like stuck in a position. It's like, any position that I go into with this handle, this coffin-shaped handle. This sort has a coffin-shaped handle too, but it's a little bit slighter. But this one's, very obvious. The bag wheel feels like the best fighter. But this one, feels better than this one. This one feels good in hand too. The Baron Sun Bowie feels really good in hand too. So I don't know. That one might feel a little bit better than this one. This one feels good in hand too, but it feels a little bit on the heavy side. You can feel the weight of the knife when you're moving it in your hand. Now these are lightweight knives, so I'm not going to compare it. This is a big knife. I don't know. This one feels better. You know what it is? It's the girth of the handle. This one feels better too. This Baron Sun knife feels real. The Baron Sun Bowies, I've always liked them, people, because they're not super thick. They're not super thick, so it's not a super heavy knife. This is a knife that I used to, carry when I used to do my cowboy fast draw. And that's one of the reasons, because I didn't want to carry a real heavy knife, but I wanted to carry something that looked like a big Western Bowie. So this fit all the, checked off all the boxes perfectly for me. It's made like an old style knife too. It's not made like a modern style knife. More of an old style. This is the Hollywood Bowie. This one feels like something I wouldn't want to carry. This is too heavy. This feels awesome. The bag wheel feels awesome. But I don't think this would be like a super heavy duty Bowie. So I wouldn't want this as a survival knife. This is a fighter. That's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be a fighter. This one feels good. This one would make a good survival knife because it's a nice full tang, exposed tang. And I'm sure this 512 Damascus is a very strong steel. This one right here, this one feels the most awkward. This would be like the one that I wouldn't want the most. So these two. I like this one too, though, people. I'm going to say it's number 3 for me. Now, for survival, it'd be number 1. Survival would be number 1. And these would probably be my top 3 for survival Bowies. Why not this one? Because I can see the tangs on these. I know that these are strong knives. And I know I've seen these taken apart. I know that this is a nice, thick, strong tang too. It's just covered. You can't see it. So I know that these are very heavy-duty built knives. This one has a stick tang, and so I wouldn't expect this one to be like a super heavy-duty, strong knife. Not like one of these. This one feels super heavy, and it probably has a very thick tang going through it. But I'm not exactly sure how the construction is on it, and so I'm not going to choose it over one of these. I know how it's made. This one I know is meant to be a fighter, so I don't expect this to have a really super thick tang going through here. It's meant to be more of a fighting knife. Fighting knives aren't necessarily make the best camp knives. They don't necessarily make the best survival knives. Fighting knives are meant to be light and agile and be designed so you can move them fast in your hand, where you want speed more than you want strength. Because think about this, people. In a knife fight, what's more important to you? Having a big, heavy duty something, or having something that's light and fast? I don't know. It's just speed's always important in a fight. That's always been my experience, people. So I wouldn't want something that's too heavy. I'd rather have something. This would probably be too heavy for a fighting knife. But I think it'd be a better choice as opposed to this, because I'd rather have this one because this is going to be a better survival knife than this one. But it could also be a good fighting knife because it has a sharpened wedge. But this one just feels really good in hand. I don't know, people. Yeah, y'all have to try them out and test them out for yourselves. Now, all I got to say is, I love the Trailmaster. I think it's gonna be it'd be the one I'd choose over all of these for a survival knife, people. But then again, I didn't buy these to be survival knives. I bought these all to be collectors, and because they brought back good memories for me. I bought this one because I've always admired Bill Bagwell. I used to watch the Bill Bagwell videos, and his makings of like the different knives that he made. And so I had a big admiration for him. I got this one because this company was going out of business. And I always admired their big trail maker Bowie. This one because of my pops. And this was a gift from my pops. This one I got to be part of a Western outfit. This one I got because I always wanted it. And this one, I got to tear up some wood. This one's gonna get busy, baby. This one's gonna get I can't wait to get out there and try this one out. But it's got to get a little bit cooler, less than 100 degrees for me when I get out by the river, people. But anyway, that's it for this one. Stay tuned for the next one. We got something else coming up. Peace out, Stiletto.